You are now listening to the Salty Virgins Podcast.
I want to run a 40.
Okay.
We got to do it.
Sure.
I don't know if I could actually sprint with my ankle. I can run. I've been running when playing soccer, but I never sprint.
It's gonna be a group of drunk assholes running through the shuffleboard courts.
Can't wait till we all fall. Face first. That first step, it's gonna be ugly.
That boat's gonna shift under you, and it's like, oh, you're down.
Timer's still running. Kevin ran a 12-second 40. Wow. I mean, little did I know that when you fall down, you run a far worse time than 12 seconds.
Much worse.
If there's one lesson learned.
Isn't that right, Jordan?
It sure is.
It takes quite a while to peel yourself off the deck.
So,
like a Looney Tune.
We're back from the cruise.
It felt Looney Tune.
We didn't record on the cruise because we couldn't coordinate a damn thing throughout 5 days.
To be fair,
We had so many
time was
walkie-talkies.
not real.
We all decided on a time to record one day and then all willfully ignored that time without mentioning it to each other.
It was the least logistically sound thing I've ever done in my entire life. Because I was like, all right, 4:30, we're going to record. And Kevin was like, 4:30, yes. Jackson was like, 4:30, yes. Patrick was like, 4:30, yes. We were in the pool till 5:30.
All of us.
That pool was a rager too. I think we'll get to it.
So yeah,
there was a lot of raging going on in that pool.
Ugh.
Now that we're all quarantined and we all have our lives semi together.
Work from home, gang.
Yeah, are you,
Extended
Jackson,
spring
are you
break
working
game?
from home?
Yes.
Okay. So, yeah, essentially now we're all forced to talk to each other. So, we're finally recapping the cruise. You guys will be hearing this midweek, and then we'll still be releasing an episode next week on Monday. So that'll probably just be us talking about working from home and being quarantined. So you can probably skip it.
Yeah, because you're doing it already.
Yeah, I think you're aware of what's going on.
So,
We see
day
the views.
one.
Listen.
From the top.
Day one. Get there. First of all, we thought Pat was not going to get on the cruise because we saw his brother and not him.
Oh, yeah.
He had to
First
wait
thing.
for Travis, but we saw Mikey and no Pat, and I was like, did Pat just shit himself? And they said, sir, you can't board this cruise.
Not out of the realm.
Definitely not out of the realm. Yeah, because we were in line, almost on the boat, and then we saw Mikey, and we were like, "Where's Pat?" And Mikey was like,
Yeah, literally, he just shrugged with that fucking stupid face and his stupid hat on, and then he just kept walking.
Like, I'm here. That's all that matters.
And then, of course, I get up there and I have a Shanghai, China stamp on my passport because I was in the airport for 12 hours 4 years ago. And boy, when they saw that fucking stamp, they must have handed my passport to 5 different people. I was like, the date's on it. It's 4 years ago. There's a date on the stamp. That's the beautiful thing about it. Could not figure it out. Poppy's just standing there. Everyone that we know is getting on the cruise.
No one
I
looked
think
back.
Brandon waved at me when he walked by.
we told Kevin before we even started boarding, we're like, if they don't let you on the boat, that's on you.
That was the agreement. We were talking about it because we thought Pat might not be on the boat. And we were like,
Yes.
well,
If he dies,
Patrick, I love you, buddy, but
he dies.
once we got to the port, it was your responsibility to get on the boat, and thankfully we all did.
It looked touch and go. It looked touch and go.
Got on the boat, Long Island's. Lucas was the last person on that entire cruise to get 2 drinks with one swipe of the card. He got 2 drinks,
Absolutely.
gloated to us, and then they instantly shut it down.
And to be fair, had they kept that 2 drinks per card,
We would have run out of alcohol on the third day.
yeah, we would have
yeah.
drank the boat dry.
And then the
Because we
quarantine-
almost
oof.
drank the boat dry already.
So we get on, we gotta have a couple drinks, and then it's time for the pinnacle of the cruise, honestly. We decide to go run our 40-yard dashes. Multiple drinks in each.
More than multiple. Multiple is putting it lightly.
So
had
we went
split-
to the... Good.
Oh, no, go ahead. It doesn't matter.
We went to the jogging track, and the jogging track is also where they do the muster drills. But we were pretty early for, the muster drill is the safety drill with the lifeboats they do before every cruise. Everyone on the fucking cruise ship has to go to their little boat, and they do a little presentation, right? It was pretty early before it, so we paced off. These are so unofficial in the 40s. But we had multiple people pace off 40 yards. Multiple band nerds myself included. And we came up with an aggregate 40-yard mark, and we went to run. And I think I ran first, right? I ran a 5.59, and I was through the fucking. I 5.61. I was over the moon. I was like, I'm the fastest man on earth. So I'm celebrating. Jackson goes to run. I went back to start line. I saw Jackson run. Jackson gets down into the runner's blocks. And as soon as you start moving, you start the timer like the combine. As soon as he decided to start moving, he went from as low as he is to standing straight up and then just took off
like a
running.
pencil.
And still, to his credit, ran a 5.9. I think we all ran twice, so I'll just say the best times. I ran a 5.8. Jackson ran a 5.9. Pat went and ran, and you got a 6.08, right, Pat?
Yeah.
And then Jordan showed up late. I don't know
Way
why.
late. I don't even
were
know
you?
where the fuck I was. I have no idea still. No, I think I was hanging out with Lucas and Brandon.
Yes. Maybe that's why you fell.
Oh.
That would probably actually
No, because we
make a lot
didn't
more
have our bags yet.
Oh, yep.
Then I have no idea. I was hanging out with Lucas and Brandon. I know that.
So at this time, people are starting to gather for the mustard drill because people always get there really early for some reason. So we're just drunk assholes running as predicted.
Yes.
And a couple people, there wasn't that many people when we were running. Probably like a total of 10 people saw me, Jackson, and Pat run combined. Jordan comes out and we're like, oh shit, are you going to run? Because we had all kind of we're like, this is good, this is fun. And he showed up late, after we were done. So we're like, hell yeah, let's get it done. I walked down to the finish line. And at this point, there's probably 40 or 50 people out there. People are starting to gather.
Far too many people.
Jordan gets down into the blocks. We're trying to tell him to wait because we wanted to record. He's so excited to run. My dad said you were so excited to run. He gets down into the blocks. He starts moving. Instantly out, slips. Keeps going. I was like, that's a save. This is good. Maybe he'll still post a good time. This man gets 10 yards down, and he starts to lose his balance, and the next 10 yards are just one slow fall.
It was
Arms flailing, clear loss of balance.
It was like
hits the
curling,
ground
but
like
I was
he's-
the thing.
Hits the ground like he's sliding into second base.
It was a good form
Head
to have
whips
fun.
down, glasses flap his face, hat impeccably still on his head. His hairline was hanging on for dear life.
Sure fucking was.
And at this point, I'm an absolute mess. I'm hooting and hollering. I'm fucking sprinting down to meet him, celebrating. Yelling, the clock's still going, you gotta get running. And then to his credit, he eventually got up and meandered to the finish line, so we did get an official time.
Shouts to John for keeping the clock running.
He kept that clock running the whole time. Jordan Jordan crossed the start finish line at 24 seconds, 12 seconds. 24 seconds, 24.12 seconds. Jesus.
Yeah, there you go. But I finished.
So, the 40s were adventurous. I'd like to say I'm easily the fastest person on the podcast. It's never been in doubt. Now it's solidified. Jordan is easily the slowest. That's
By
ridiculous,
far.
Jordan.
Times 4.
Pat, I think we can get you below 6, buddy.
I think so too.
I think I can get me above 6, too.
Oh yeah. You want to take the 20 pounds away from me and put it on you?
Is there another weight loss bet coming?
There is. And man, when we got off that cruise, bad things happened when I stepped on the scale.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was ugly. It was ugly.
So we got another one going. It's been a slow start for me, as
too.
can be predicted. But we're working on it. I went for a run today.
It's hard to lose weight when you eat all your quarantine food at once.
It's also so fun to just not eat healthy and just not exercise.
Yeah,
and just,
life is much
it's,
better.
It's absolutely incredible. And then
Yeah,
after
there's
getting
that-
to do that for 5 days straight,
Oh
Did
my
you
God.
just drink everything in sight and then eat everything in sight?
and it's all free. It's all
All
yours.
free. You can't feed yourself. You can't scoop it yourself. But, you know.
Well, usually you can, but we'll get to it.
Washy washy.
Oh my God, please stop.
Next was the muster drill. That shit's always boring, but Pat had a ridiculous guy. I didn't get to see it.
The guy at our muster station had what had to have been a child's safety vest. And
He was a big man.
he was doing the demonstration of how to clip it. And he took the rope and put it around his body and pulled so hard on the buckle came off the strap. So we all started giggling. And he took another minute or so, put the buckle back on the strap, wrapped it around him, and then pulled it too hard and took the buckle right off the strap. So we had one of the people come help him, and they put the buckle back on, and then went around him, and then slowly pulled the buckle until it slowly fell off the strap. So I didn't listen to a single word that muster station said because I was cracking up.
They couldn't just give up. They couldn't just leave it after the first try.
Could've
So
just
these
hung his
people
head.
get.
Yeah, no. They had to show us how to do it.
Oh my god.
Let me tell you, I did not learn a goddamn thing.
That's so fucking funny. It was you and Daniel that saw that, right?
Yeah, and Travis and John.
Oh, I'm so sad that I wasn't there. What are you gonna do?
Kevin had the rich people rooms, so he didn't. He didn't have.
Yeah, they have their own boats.
I had my own boat, yes. And they said if we run out of these, we'll just kick the poor people out of the ones in the back, and you can have one of those. So
I wouldn't doubt it.
Fair is fair.
The Corona way.
Rest of that day is kind of a blur. A lot of drinking, dinner.
A lot of drinking.
Oh, Jordan puked in the restaurant.
I did. I sure did. Sure did.
Jordan
Twice.
Went, all right, so the story as we were told, and we'll let you, the listeners, decide what actually happened. Jordan left the table the first time. He's gone for a long time, comes back and has like water on his shirt, and then I think Pat went to like make fun of the water on his shirt, and he was like, I just got puked on. Weirdest thing. I just walked out of the room, and this guy just lost it and puked on me, and then he obviously had to go clean himself up, right? Well, about 30 minutes later, he leaves the dinner table again, gone for a while.
Heaved.
Gone for a while, and we get a like manager
So what's wrong with your friend?
right up to our table.
What's wrong with your
What's up
friend?
with your friend? Is your friend okay? He puked over there.
twice.
He puked over there.
He puked there. He puked there.
And then we got his boss to come to our table and ask my dad, because my dad was supposed to be the responsible one of the group. Should have asked John, honestly. Asked my dad, is this guy okay? Like, is your friend okay? And he was like, yeah, he's fine. Whatever. Jordan comes back. He puked. But the first time he actually did get puked on, the second time he puked himself. That's the story that he's told us. That's the story he's sticking to.
That's a story no one believes.
Believe it or not, I admit the second time I fucking heaved. I don't know what happened. I was just walking and it was over. Absolutely over.
All right.
And
We'll see.
I went and had to like lay down and take a nap and everything. I was fucking
Yeah, puking twice really takes it out of you.
Yeah. Once
puking
I can use
at
it
all.
rally. Twice.
Yeah. Puking at all takes it out of you.
I've never once in my life puked and rallied. Puking
Really?
is the end of my night.
You're
Yep.
not living.
Puking is the end of my night. I don't puke often, but when I puke, it's over.
Yeah, I puked and then
can
I
I
made
puke?
it back like to the casino with you guys at what, midnight, something like that.
We had no idea what time everything was.
I was surprised you showed back up.
I was too, honestly.
The rest of that night, we went to the casino. Jackson blacked out. I
Big
gambled. Jackson gambled, maybe?
No, not that night.
Thank God.
Oh,
And-
that would have been. I lost.
Jackson,
I lost my whole ass phone.
he sure did.
Yeah, that night, it was a late night, but I just remember gambling, drinking, going back to the room, and then learning the next day that Jackson had lost his phone.
And he woke up. So me and Jackson
good.
roomed together. So he woke up in an absolute panic at 5 a.m. Like, where's my phone? Bro, what? Like, what are you talking about? So I'm just like, it has to be somewhere in this room. Just like, relax. Like, we'll find it in the morning. Because it was 5 a.m. And he was passed out in his jeans and had his iPad or whatever on his stomach. So, like, I figured he was comfortable enough to be like, oh, it's just somewhere in the room. And he was just blacked out and left it.
Oh no, I knew that shit was gone.
Yeah, he was right. He did not have it at all. In the morning, we had to go to guest services, who became Jackson's girlfriend for the boat, where they had his cell phone, which was incredible.
Poppy started calling Jackson guest services.
He did.
At least until night 3.
Well, because...
Your father also lost some shit, but tried to play it off on Jackson.
Yeah, he lost his sunglasses and then watched an old man shit himself.
Yes.
And he got him from guest services.
Yeah, exactly.
He did watch a man shit himself. Just like... Never mind. So...
No explanation.
Jackson also got cut off that night.
Oh yeah, that was the night that we had the bartender that lectured. Well, first of all, Jackson hands him the card, and the guy looks at the card, looks at Jackson, taps the card on the counter, and goes, "Your card didn't work. You got to go to guest services." So Jackson stumbles over to guest services. They say, "No, your card's fine, man." And in the meantime, Travis had ordered 8 Jameson shots. He said, "I can't do shots. I can do them on ice." That's reasonable. That's like a rule. So he ordered, 8 Jameson shots on ice. And then the guy started lecturing us about, you have to slow down, like a word of advice, like slow down, don't be drinking so fast. If you start getting too rowdy and puking, we can take your drink package away and it ruins your vacation. And
to be fair, the man had a point.
Listen, he wasn't.
Did we care about that point? No.
No, sure didn't.
But the wildest part was it was an Indian bartender, and he started saying, like, these are United States rules. Like, I'm Indian, you're American, these are your rules. Like, and we're like, okay, can we have the drinks, please? I see them on the counter. Please just push them our way. Jackson comes back. I think somehow had a Jameson shot.
Oh yeah.
Yep, I did.
Of course he did.
That's the only thing I can remember that night because I could still taste how bad it is.
Jackson also slept in his jeans.
Yes.
As he does.
I come back to the room after I had met up with everybody, and Jackson sleeping in his jeans and tank top with his legs crossed and his tablet on his stomach.
Legs crossed?
Yes, I showed you the picture.
Oh.
His legs were crossed. I've never seen anything like this.
It's like a sarcophagus.
No, they weren't crossed like... They were crossed like you would cross your legs if you're sitting in a chair.
Sitting straight up with his arms crossed?
Essentially, yeah. Jackson might be a vampire, now that I think about it.
Oh my god.
It was awful. It was terrifying.
So when you woke up and found out you had no phone, Jackson, did you go back to sleep in the jeans?
Yes. No. Oh, you didn't?
Nope.
Okay. That's good.
I got up, patted my jeans, realized I had no phone. I was like,
he put on a corduroy jacket.
I went on to put my sport coat on.
Oh.
Nice pair of slacks.
Jackson slept in his jeans, and that was pretty much day 1. We went to Key West day 2. Went to a couple different bars.
Well, first of all, day 2, I woke up at 9:15 and won a free throw contest.
Oh yeah, Pat won a free throw contest on the deck.
Hell yeah!
I didn't even know that.
Add a koozie to my collection.
He got a koozie for it. Jackson found his phone.
Thank you.
We got off the boat and went to Key West, a couple breweries, and then we went to a couple bars.
Yeah.
My dad and someone else, maybe it was like Brandon B, just like ditched the group because you guys were just meandering, and I was like, just go right.
Oh, me, Daniel, and Mike ditched the group too.
Well, because they came and found us, and then you, Daniel, and Mike weren't there. You went to Fat Tuesdays?
We went to the Flying Monkey.
Oh, Flying Monkey.
Which is essentially Fat Tuesday.
And then we went to a brewery, played Pop-A-Shot. We did a Pop-A-Shot tournament where I absolutely demolished the competition. That was a valiant effort for second place.
What was this? Tell them the score differential.
I think I scored like 80-something, 86.
Kevin's a fraud.
94.
94?
Yes.
To like
and then
60.
Pat scored like, 40?
Hey.
50 something.
Whatever. I also reset the high score on that machine later and got a 96.
Kevin's a fraud.
I'm not a fraud.
Kevin's a fraud. He uses the backboard in Pop-A-Shot.
That's the Pop-A-Shot. That's how you do it.
Literally how you win.
No.
Yeah.
Did you win or did you lose?
That's how
That's the
losers
meta.
win.
Pat got
That's the
doubled
meta.
up.
Pat did get doubled up.
I did not get doubled up.
That's the Pop-A-Shot meta. What happened after that? Oh, we got back on the boat. That was fancy dinner night, right? First fancy dinner?
Yeah.
First fancy dinner.
So we all got dressed up nice. We had dinner at the steakhouse. I apparently made an ass of myself as soon as I walked in because I said something to the guy asked me if I wanted to see the wine list.
Yeah,
And
it's
I was
like, you want to see
yes.
the wine list? Said, maybe later, right now, old-fashioned.
No, what I said was, yes, but for later, I want to get an old-fashioned to start.
That's not what you said.
That's what I said in my head.
That may be what you thought you said.
So yeah, apparently I was pretty rude to start, but then I was an angel the rest of the time, so.
That's also
Not
debatable.
to Patrick.
Was I mean?
Everyone was mean.
Except me.
Yeah, Stuart
I don't
and
remember
Jackson
being
were
mean.
nice.
Apparently, we were mean to Patrick. I don't remember it.
As is tradition.
Allegedly, it happened. I don't know what happened after that.
We
Oh,
went
the
to
nightclub. We went to the nightclub.
All 12.
Also, in between,
Just a group of 12 dancing dudes at the nightclub.
I was not there. I went to my room.
Oh, 10, because Poppy wasn't there either.
Poppy was there.
Poppy was there.
Poppy
11.
was there.
Everyone had their like suit jackets on, right?
Yes, we all.
Was that the night that we were saying Lucas looked like a pit boss?
Yes. Lucas and Travis, to be honest.
Speaking of
That's
pit
right.
boss,
oh my god, Kevin.
Kevin called the pit boss a narc to his face.
Oh, yeah.
Kevin was
He
Stood there
absolutely
and took it
obliterated.
too.
10-day 2.
Look at this fucking narc.
No F word.
We danced at the nightclub. We went and ate at one of the bars. We're just sitting there, and this group of like girls were sitting there talking to Daniel mostly, and we witnessed one girl completely just piss herself in a bathing suit, and then
Bring it
got
out.
up and got up and changed seats, and then was kind of just like shifting, and then was like, yeah, the girl behind me just like spilled her pitcher of water, and we left. We walked away.
No, she said pitcher of beer, which is
of
wild.
beer.
You cannot get a pitcher of beer anywhere on the boat.
Yeah, who's giving you a pitcher of beer?
Where's that at?
So that happened, and then I went outside and silent discoed on the top of a stairwell.
And I lost
four
it.
people. For 4 people. That was my
That
bit of the
joke-
trip, was pretending to silent disco.
That joke killed Jackson every time.
That's
Kevin
why I
did
kept
it.
doing it. Every time I did it, Jackson laughs. When Jackson does his like real good cackle, like he thinks something's super funny, that's what he would do when I did this bit, and that was enough to keep it going the entire cruise. Or I just pretended to DJ in an empty room or in a crowded room while there's a DJ actually being there.
Yeah, he did that a lot too.
Listen,
We
good
really
play.
leaned into our just our ridiculousness on this boat as a group.
It's true. It was chaos. It never got to a point where it was like an issue, I don't think.
No,
We are never actually in threat of like getting our drink packages taken away.
We should have.
well, that's a
We're-
different
We were
conversation.
very close on the first night.
To be fair, we were not the drunkest people on that cruise.
Horniest, but not the drunkest.
No, we weren't the drunkest people. I'd say as a group average we were putting up strong numbers, but definitely not the drunkest people.
we can't drink
No.
like college kids anymore.
No,
No.
and there were a lot of fucking college kids on this boat.
I never want to meet a Southern college kid again.
Same.
So many of them. The amount of times that I asked where I go, I was like, well, I went to Florida, but now I'm not in college, and they're like, oh.
Older.
Turn it in, bro.
I have a full-time job? Ugh.
Having to explain that to people, it's like,
I own a house? Shit.
that
Not a house,
painful for
Patrick.
me.
About 5% of a house.
Yeah. I have so much debt. Oh, I had that in common.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
about to say,
that's
there you go.
Oh no, they don't have that. Their parents.
They have
Oh, yeah,
parents.
fair.
The people on that cruise, yes.
Remember, these are kids from like Ole Miss.
One of the girls that I talked to about the Rochester garbage plate told me that she had completed some shit on her bucket list in the last 6 months.
All right, that was what the fuck was that?
That was insanity. Her like 3 things that she wanted to do besides go on this boat was
That boat was her bucket list?
correct. Snorkel the Great Barrier
Before I
Reef.
die,
All right, that's really cool.
I need to be
Yeah,
on the
it's
Norwegian
cool
Sun.
if
That's a cool like one big thing.
but she had done that
kept
like
going.
6 months before.
And then backpack in Europe.
through Europe, and then go skydiving twice, which was an odd number to put to it, but you know, whatever.
Okay.
It's a person from Rochester, and then that boat or
And then ruthlessly defend the garbage plate on the boat?
Yes.
She got mad at me a little bit. And I was like, bro, like it's called the garbage plate because it's
tried
just
to-
the garbage
Oh
from
my
the
God.
day. And she was like, no, but it's so good. I was like, I'm sure if I could not see, I would shove fucking macaroni salad in a hamburger patty in my mouth. But otherwise, no thank you.
Not the
This girl
macaroni
was-
salad from that
This
boat.
girl was
goddamn.
so rich and had such poor taste.
Yeah, it was like that. I guess that's really blowed me. Is that like she could have been eating like steak and caviar, and she's like, nah, fuck that garbage plate.
She's staying true to her roots.
Fuck those roots. Fuck upstate New York.
So that was all day 3,
Day 2.
where we just spent
Day 3.
day
Day
3.
3.
That was day at sea.
Oh God.
That was day 2.
No, well, day 1 when we got on the boat. That was enough to be a day to me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't
So
I
done
got on
day
the boat
three
at
yet.
like 12:30.
Yeah, but the Rochester Garbage Plate Girl was day 3. Day at
was
sea.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah, because we were
That
in
was
the
the day
pool.
we were at the pool all day. That's the day we planned to record. We all agreed 4:30. We're
That was
recording.
right after Pat got kicked off the deck for dancing.
Oh my fucking god.
Yes, it was. So we discovered that there were some lines at the bars by the pool, which kind of stinks. But we discovered there was beer carts everywhere. You could just
Yes.
walk up and at some of them just grab 2 beers at a time. So we spent the entire day at the pool deck, between the jacuzzi, the pool, and dancing on the side of the pool, except for Patrick, who's not allowed to dance there.
Can't dance.
As
Patrick
as everyone
specifically.
around him dances on every single surface available, including
We're standing
The side of
next to
my
the
head.
pool, standing next to the pool dancing, and Daniel and I are on like a ledge, a small slippery ledge, just losing our minds. And Patrick is on the pool deck, just kind of like moving with the music and dancing a little bit. And a guy from the cruise walks up and goes, "Hey man, you can't be dancing here."
He's like, the dance floor is over there if you want to dance.
In the middle of
Like, what?
100 dancing
I mean,
humans.
there had to be like not
Wow.
100, like 500 to 600 people just piled up dancing, and he was like, "Patrick, no dancing."
and while he did that, Daniel almost slips and falls. No one.
Well, the thing was, no one was really dancing on the pool deck like before that, and then they played the wobble, and then everyone was dancing on the pool deck, and he didn't say shit.
People lost their fucking mind.
People absolutely lost their
He
mind.
didn't say
Wow, what's
shit.
going on?
Just stared him in the eyes and did the wobble.
Patrick still hates this man.
Fuck that guy.
That day, we were in the pool with the most ridiculous tide ever. The
Yeah.
whole pool was like turning sideways with the boat, essentially. So we were just moving from end to end. And we were in that pool for like an hour.
More than that,
It was so cold.
the water was so fucking cold. It was so uncomfortable.
There was a man dancing contest on the pool deck.
It
That was
really
very
bad.
problematic. But
It was so
They
bad.
they told the woman judges they could touch them. No, they can't.
No, you can't. Please don't touch me.
Pat goes over and goes, no, please no. Oh, that night, I was in my room, hanging out, waiting for dinner, and my dad comes in. He had just been at the sports bar with Jackson and Pat and some other people. I don't know if Jordan, were you there?
I was there.
He comes back, and I was like, oh, get ready for dinner? He was like, Jackson just ate a mountain of food. And I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, Jackson just ate 3 dinners before dinner. He's like bewildered. Like, what the hell's going on?
Jackson-
Apparently, what did Jackson order?
He had
I
10
got
hot
no-
wings, a hamburger, and spinach and artichoke tick.
And he just fucking roundhoused it all.
He housed
Full
that
size
shit.
plates.
I was so hungry for some reason.
Just Jackson glazed eyes, just tearing into a burger, staring into the distance.
I don't know if you guys have been on cruises and stuff, but like, shit's free. Everything basically was free with our package.
Testing
So
the limit.
Jackson said,
Limit of your
"It's free.
bowels.
Bet."
I think Jackson found the limit of his bowels after dinner.
He sure fucking did.
We went to dinner. Jackson ate a full meal, as you do. And then we went to karaoke. Oh, no. We walked out of dinner.
We walked out of the restaurant, and I was like, "Hey, Jackson, let's get a good, like, funny, like, school."
There was a shit
picture.
photographer there.
Yeah, like a funny, like, school, like, picture day picture. Jackson, we sat down. Jackson farted. Even the photographer was like, "Bro, what the fuck?"
We
I
wanted
had
to
my
take-
mouth open and everything. Jackson didn't say anything. He just, like, started giggling, and I'm like,
We wanted to take more pictures, and then I got within the realm of the photographer and sniffed it, and we into
Bolted.
the elevator.
We bolted.
The photographer was talking about it as the elevator doors closed. It was the nastiest thing that has ever happened.
Who's got Daddy's credit card?
Oh, that was that elevator ride, wasn't it?
Immediately after. Or so I've been
This
I've been told.
this middle-aged man gets in the elevator of like 7 dudes.
Yeah. Wait for the next one, bro.
And we were all kind of like a little bit nice dressed, so it was after dinner. And gets in and just goes, "All right, who's got daddy's credit card?" And everyone is just like, So I was like, all right, I'll play along. I do. And then he started lecturing us on how much they charge you when you get a beer and port, and this and that. And then stop 8 came, and I was stop 9, and I almost walked out of stop 8, and I was like, I can wait one more. 9, the man is asking me a question, and I eye contact, walked out of the elevator. And then apparently, when I got off, he turned to Lucas and harassed him, asking if he had a job.
Yeah. Unemployed,
I was the only unemployed person on that boat.
That guy was probably so sick of college kids on that boat, he was just like, all right,
Time to
you have a
roast,
job.
Time to go roast them.
He runs into the only young professionals on the entire goddamn ship.
And bothers you guys. Takes it.
Incredible.
So, karaoke after that.
We were the only people at
was,
karaoke?
It was pretty dead, but when we walked up, at this point, my voice is gone from 2 nights of screaming at the casino and all down the pool deck.
Kevin
my
would not
voice is,
shut up playing blackjack. You could hear him all the way across the casino. Just him screaming, "Give me a 4 of hearts! I'll take a jack of diamonds! This guy's a fucking knock!"
Kevin's from Boston now?
So,
Andy Smith
and I also smoke 3 packs a day. We did karaoke. It was pretty dead, but there was 22 songs in front of Daniel and I, because Daniel was like, we gotta sing. I was like, Daniel, I can't sing. So we did the Fall Out Boy song.
You got it.
Did we do Sugar We're Going Down Swinging?
Yeah, you did.
Yes.
Nice.
We also did the Blink-182 song.
Oh, yeah. I sang a lot of karaoke.
Kevin said he
my
was
voice
not
fucked.
going to sing all this.
Daniel has an effect on me. What can I say?
Kevin probably shouldn't have sang for like his vocal cords. Like,
It's a good thing we didn't record that day, because I would have... It was awesome. We're at the pool deck. Everyone's just fucking roasting me.
Kevin would have been bleeding from the throat if we would have recorded.
If we would have been on that ship one more day, I would have been bleeding from the throat. My voice was trashed.
If we were on that boat for one more day, I would have jumped off the boat.
Yeah, I was over it by day 4.
So, karaoke, we all kind of just naturally decided to do a bit where Sweet Caroline was on, and there was a guy and a girl singing it, and no one was on the floor. And as soon as the chorus came, like 7 of us or 8 of us ran onto the dance floor and just started like we were at a fucking concert, like going nuts and singing and like cheering, and then as soon as the chorus ended, come back off the dance floor, and it was empty.
Pretend
again.
nothing happened.
Yeah, we did it, and eventually people noticed, because Sweet Caroline has a ton of choruses.
Yeah, it's the longest song in
It's got like
existence.
6.
There's at least like 6 or 7 choruses. It's absurd. At the end of the song, it just loops. So little did we know, there was this old guy that was talking to Poppy about, that was his either son or grandson. I don't know. We were guessing grandson, but we don't know. Anyway, that was up there. He's been trying to get with that girl for like 2 days. And she's like, finally agreed to sing karaoke with him. And we were just like going and doing this on the stage. And it was like perfect for him. That guy's thanking me, thanking Poppy. Me and Brandon Goldman went out to go to the bathroom.
His son laid.
I guess the couple was at the bar. And I was like, oh, you guys did awesome. That was great up there. Like, great job, guys. And they like high-fived us. And then that guy like followed us out and was like, shook both of me and Brandon's hands and told us how much he appreciated it. We were like, this is the weirdest fucking thing in the world. And then we did that bit to every other song for the rest of the night. Or not every song, but most songs.
Every song we could do that had a popular chorus.
Yes.
It didn't really die.
No. And then we opened up the pit when we did Blink-182.
Yeah. Oh, that song, that was a lot of fun. That was a lot of
I
fun.
really think it was only us, but that's fine.
We had a good time.
I had a great time.
Jackson kept farting.
And then shout out to Brandon for one of the best lines of that boat. There's a common denominator between all of these farts, and it's the one that had 3 dinners.
Sound logic. I don't know what to say.
Jackson, so I brought Pepto knowing who we are as people.
Oh, yeah. After I had
And
all
I
those-
told
that
Jackson
heartburn.
6
Real
different
bad.
times. I said, hey, I got Pepto, it's right there. Hey, I got Pepto, it's right there. Hey, I got Pepto, it's right
For
there.
24 hours, refused to take it.
And then he took it and he was like, wow, I feel better. Buddy!
Yeah, that was that was pretty much the end of that night. I think I probably gambled afterwards, but I mean,
There was some light gambling after, but
yeah, I did a lot, but I only did gambling in spurts. But I think I gambled every day of that cruise. Had to get my fix in. My guts were.
His guts were on fire.
Also, we tried to end that night early because the next morning we were getting up at 7:30 in the morning to get off the boat at 8 to go to Mr. Sancho's.
not a chance.
We did not end that.
We went to bed at 3 a.m.
I know.
Correct.
I said we were trying. We made it to Mr. Sancho's. We left at probably 8:45 off the boat, so we didn't do too bad. Taxi ride there was pretty easy. We get in, it's not that crowded yet, so we were just hanging out in the pool, and there's a bar at the pool that you just swim up to, you get another beer, go back. I think in the first hour there I consumed 8 beers.
Easy.
Yeah, we hit that bar so hard, so quickly.
Time stood still.
It sure fucking did.
That was the slowest day of the cruise.
Someone would say ask me what time it was. I'd be like, it's 9:30, and then I would finish my beer and check. It would be like 9:32. I was like, I just talked to someone for 30 minutes at least. There's no fucking way. It was so slow. We were in the pool for a while, and then we went and we had some lunch, and then found some chairs by the beach, right? A table by the beach. I have no idea what time it was at this point. I noticed that there were pool chairs on the beach. I was like, are those free? And I was like, yes. I walked over to one, Long Island in hand, laid down, hat over head, instantly fell asleep.
Kevin fell asleep the fastest I've ever seen a human being fall asleep. It was maybe 1 second from him closing his eyes to him being just knocked out asleep.
And I was rudely awakened by someone trying to take my drink out of my hand.
That someone was me. I didn't even want
ridiculous.
the drink.
I wanted the drink.
It was my drink. I was drinking it.
You were not.
I was just resting my eyes.
Kevin, you slept for an hour.
Meanwhile, John and Brandon decided to go jet ski. And they're zooming around the water. Only supposed to be out there for 30 minutes. They're out there for an hour.
They paid $72 for 20 minutes. And then they were out there for 45 minutes.
Just fucking hauling ass.
And Brandon told us he couldn't see straight before he got on that Sea-Doo. And then he drove it for some of it.
He almost strangled himself with his hat.
At the very end, we see Brandon was wearing it, and all of a sudden John just has Brandon's hat, and he's just viciously twisting it and twisting it and twisting it and twisting it. They get off. He went on the jet ski with a lifeguard hat, like a straw hat, which is the stupidest thing you could ever do. That has one of those straps that goes beneath the chin.
Ever.
And it twisted so many times, it started to choke him. So Jordan had to untwist that. They almost had to cut it off.
Yep, it was a whole thing.
And I think after that, we decided we had actually headed back an hour earlier than we could have, but just to play it safe.
We were just so tired.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, we started drinking at 9:30 in the morning.
And we were in the fucking sun all day.
But it was an overall good time. We got a ton of group pictures taken at Mr. Sancho's by the world's worst photographer.
All of them.
That girl stunk. She took 45 pictures, and not a single one was good.
I was like, hey, can we get one good one? She said, no, thank you.
I'll take 100 bad ones.
So
she took a
got
video.
Back to the ship.
She did she took a 2-second video that was so terrible.
Everything. It was I was looking at those pictures no one can see anything on these. I did get a good sticker of Patrick's face for later use. For memeing and jerking off.
Okay.
Jeez.
Did we do fancy dinner number 2 that
That
day?
was fancy dinner number 2.
Okay. So we got back to the ship. We all just kind of broke and then reconvened. So John showed us on the first day of the cruise. John being the
While we all got drunk at Mr. Sancho's, John had 12 waters.
Yeah.
Yeah, John he likes to watch the world burn is the best way to describe him.
And this was the perfect time to go on this fucking cruise.
Well, yeah. So he taught us this chant day 1 that goes, I like to drink with Patrick because Patrick is my mate. And when I drink with Patrick, he puts it down in 8. And then you count down from 8 and they're supposed to finish their drink. So that obviously became the theme song of the cruise. Poppy and I went to grab a drink before dinner with, I think you were there, Pat, before you guys went to dinner. We were just kind of hanging out.
Yep.
And Travis was there. And then most people left and it was just me, Poppy, and Travis because our dinner was an hour later. And before we left, Travis had his old fashioned, And we got up, and I was like, okay, we'll take it to the room. I'm just going to go throw on some nice clothes, and we'll be up there. And Travis just, like, downed the old-fashioned. Said it, like, started, and I was like, no, we didn't do it. You can take it to the room. And then just, like, absolutely housed an entire old-fashioned. So I was like, okay, whatever. We go to dinner. Turns out Travis was planning on being the drunkest man alive that night.
And succeeded.
I didn't know that
One.
at the time. But we went to dinner. We saw them at dinner, so we kind of waved. We went and sat down, and dinner was fun. I basically just Poppy and I just talked about like dumb shit that I did as a kid. Because that's the best dinner conversation with one other person.
Yeah,
but that's what we did.
Did you know that Kevin used to bite his tongue every meal?
I used to bite my tongue at least once a day while eating.
Did you not slow down? And
I couldn't figure my shit out. I couldn't do it. I used to think it was normal to bite your tongue that often.
What?
I could not figure it out.
You make so much money now. How is this true?
I also don't bite my tongue, like, ever.
Well, I fucking hope not.
There's barely any left to bite.
What, Kevin?
Yeah. There was like a solid 3 months where I was just biting my tongue every day. Couldn't figure it out.
Did you ask for help? Like, how'd you figure it out?
Not sure.
Listen, sometimes you just forget how to do things.
Think I just did some self-reflection.
Well, that's good. That's good.
I think I was like 6. I wasn't...
You weren't even eating big shit. You were just like, nah, these carrots... Oh, that's my tongue, too.
Poppy said that it wouldn't be like just a small bite. He would cry every night because he bit his tongue.
I made myself bleed 2 or 3 times.
Oh my god.
Sometimes you forget how to do things, Kevin. I know how it is.
So, yeah. That's what we talked about at dinner. And then, so we were talking NFL at the table before the cruise, and I made the declaration that I think Aaron Rodgers is I don't think Aaron Rodgers is a top 2 quarterback. I said I think he's top 4, top 5. Travis disagreed. Argument ensued. We just decided to quit it because
it's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. At dinner, Travis asked me again, and then asked the guy next to us.
Top 2 steakhouses, go.
He to that guy's credit, he obliged. It seemed like he was interested in the conversation. I just felt bad because he was like on a date. But that ensued. That guy agreed with me, by the way. So, just saying. Lamar Jackson's the second best quarterback in the NFL. Anyway, that happened at dinner, and then we just kind of finished up and left. And I think we went to go meet at the casino. I went and
sat down at a
I saw
table.
Travis at the ATM. I got back, no Travis, didn't see him for the rest of the night. I had not realized how much Travis had been drinking. I was just like, he's just, whatever. So the rest of that night was over.
For him.
And honestly, it's probably the most gracefully someone ended a night for us.
That man blacked out and just went to the room.
Yeah.
Good for him.
And I went to the room after the night, and I woke him up, and he said, "What day is it?" How'd I get here? I'm like, I don't know, buddy. And he checked his wallet. He's like, well, I have all my money, so that's good.
How was your hibachi dinner?
Sucked. Terrible.
Sucked?
I
tried to tell y'all.
The steak was very good. Everything else was bad.
I tried to tell y'all.
You did.
I was
You did.
The churrascaria.
It stunk.
Awful. It was so bad. And so it was just me and Jackson at the Brazilian steakhouse.
Quite literally, we were the only people eating there for most of our dinner.
I wonder why.
Oh my god.
That's true. So it was a real romantic moment, and the food was so bad I couldn't even really be happy about it.
They took away full plates of food from us.
It was full plates of like what would have been on the outside world good meat. Pause.
Good meat.
I said it. It was just so bad, and Jackson was like, "No, it's not that bad." And I'm like, "Buddy, like, we don't owe these people any money. This stinks." But
steakhouse was great again.
We get it. We all fucked up. Though your experience left some to be desired.
So that day, I learned when I got back on the boat from Poppy that you could order Crown double on the rocks, and it was within the threshold for the drink package. This was news to me.
It was
that's
news
what I
he
drank.
should not have
You fucking
ever
ran with
learned.
Through the rest of that night, after the old fashioned at the sports bar, double Crown on the rocks, the rest of the night.
Yeah, Kevin,
A lot of that night was spent at the casino.
you want to talk about the chapel?
Oh,
No.
Yes.
Some of that night was spent at karaoke.
I feel like we need to
lot
talk
of
about
that-
the chapel, Kevin.
A lot of that night was spent at the casino.
We talked about the
casino.
chapel. We got to talk about. Never mind. I can't even say it without outing
At the
Patrick. It's terrible.
At the casino. I was playing blackjack, being my normal self. I only played blackjack when I was very drunk. And every time I would get to that table, all the energy. Calling out cards for people, celebrating when people win, when the dealer busts, it's all high fives around. That's how I like to play blackjack. When I get drunk, it just becomes a problem. So we sit down, we're doing that. It's a great time. And then, was this when people were sitting down and gambling with me, or that was that day 5?
That was day 5 when I sat down and we really got into it.
I was gambling with Kevin this day.
Did I play craps day 4?
No, we were
I just
only
played
able to
blackjack for a long time.
Yeah, we were only able to play craps the last day.
So we played a lot of blackjack. We're playing. Jackson's playing with me. I think I was down some. Jackson was doing all right for a while, and then I think it went bad for you, right?
I was never doing well that day.
I hate to see that. The whole I'm saying turn it up, and Jackson is losing his mind. Jackson
Turn it
is
off.
right with me, competing with Travis for drunkest man alive.
Absolutely.
And I
Your
was like,
father
something
also
happened.
in the running.
Oh man, I thought he was done day 1.
Poppy shuffled in the karaoke dancing.
What?
Yes, you heard him.
We had like 8 people at that blackjack table, just kind of like, it was just me and Jackson playing and everyone hanging out behind. And something happened, and I was like, let's fucking go! And the pit boss was like, you, no F word. And I looked at the guy, I was like, this guy's a fucking narc! And then I said, oh, sorry, freaking narc! And I didn't get thrown out of the casino.
Honestly, incredible. I'm surprised you still have your teeth.
Yeah.
Do that at any real casino.
They would beat the living dog shit out of you.
He was a narc.
He may have been a narc. That doesn't mean you get to tell him he's a narc to his face.
The dealers that night were all great. I think I was funding the dealer population in tips that night.
You paid their vacations.
I was winning so much money. Queen V, I met the dealer, Queen V, best dealer that has ever existed. I just kept winning. And I just kept making my bet larger and making her tip larger and just kept winning. Because I was in the hole and she just like, pfft. I won back all my money on that table. And then that was chicken finger night.
Yes.
So I was wearing a fire shirt that night. Saw a guy at the bar that had the same shirt, and then at that same bar, it was in the casino, there was a guy that was ordering something. He heard me order the double Crown on the rocks, and he was like, wait, you can get that? And I was like, yeah, and I kind of convinced him to get it. He got it when I was separate ways. They were buddies, I guess, and they were sitting at a table. We went, and I told the guy that was scooping out, because we went on like coronavirus lockdown, so they were on like the highest sanitation levels.
We couldn't get our own fucking food. It was
We couldn't serve
awesome.
ourselves our food. They had to serve it for us, like onto a plate.
We couldn't have salt.
And we couldn't have salt.
And if we got salt on everything on our plate.
And it was out of a bowl that was just exposed.
Lucas tried to get salt on his... What did he get? He got something that required salt, but he also had cold cuts on his plate. This motherfucker salted his cold cuts.
No.
It was so funny. Lucas was like, you fucked up my whole meal with this.
So, I did not know that.
Oh, it was so funny.
At like 2:30, I go up to this guy, to the chicken tenders, and it's like, how many chicken tenders can you fit on one scoop? And this guy looks at me and starts bunching the chicken tenders up in the fucking thing with his tongs.
He broke his tongs!
He busted them with the tongs.
Oh, that's right. No,
He looked at you and
slid
said,
the thing
"Bet."
down, so the tongs would open wide.
He looked at you and said, bet.
He fit like 10 full-size chicken tenders on that plate.
And then what did you do with them, Kevin?
From there, I have to walk out of the buffet. And then we were sitting in the sports bar or outside?
We were sitting outside. You had to walk through the sports bar.
I had to walk out of the buffet, through the sports bar, outside. That's it.
Just
Very short, 2-minute walk. Probably took me about 10 minutes. I don't remember everything in between, but I remember stumbling, losing a few chicken tenders. It's fine. I have so many. I saw the guy that I convinced to get the double crown. I pointed at him and yelled, "This guy fucks!" and then spilled 3 chicken tenders on their table right off my plate. And fries, and then just walked away. Spilled 1 or 2 more chicken tenders on the way. I got to the table, and I think I had 2 chicken tenders, and someone had to go up and get me more.
Yes, Brandon was nice enough to go get you more chicken tenders.
The rest of us were.
And then you started throwing them.
Oh, wait, I was trying to toss it in your mouth.
Yeah, it wasn't close to my mouth. That's
I missed. I
Snag
thought I
that
could
shit
do
out
it.
of
I
the air.
missed. Patrick did backhand that very nice. I also had a double crown, and someone started chanting, I think it was John, "We like to drink with Kevin," and I picked it up, and Patrick was just like, no. No. I was like, I have to. And then Patrick took the drink and downed it.
Yeah, that was your own self-interest, I think.
He saved me from
The
myself.
self-interest of everyone on that boat.
Yeah, and then you wanted to
I
go
wasn't-
back to the blackjack table, so we all, group of 11, walked you back to your room.
You guys didn't have to do that.
Yeah, we did, because we all left and you tried to sneak out.
Oh, but that was a bit. You have to know that was a bit.
I don't know.
We don't believe you.
I was walking to my room and I was like, I'm just going to wait till you guys leave and go back to the table. And as soon as I closed the door, Poppy said, hey. I said, hey. And I said, 1 sec. And I opened back up the door and went to run out. And John was waiting for me and just tackled me back into my room. It was so funny. And then I went back and filled Poppy in a little bit. Probably
From
not.
what you remembered.
Poppy's like, what day is it?
Yeah, Poppy got pretty drunk that night too, didn't he? At karaoke?
Yeah, everyone did.
Yes.
I don't remember it. Chicken tenders. That was my most adventurous day, I think. And then day 5 is when we started learning about the world burning down.
Yeah.
Because we were off the coast of Key West, so you could actually get cell signal.
We were off the coast of just like Florida basically all day.
Oh yeah, it was just Florida, that's right. So we found out the whole world was burning to a crisp, essentially. We spent the whole day at the pool again.
Rudy
I think.
Gobert destroyed the world.
Shut up.
Were most people at the pool that day?
Yeah, everyone was at
Yeah.
the pool.
Sounds about right. And then there was a problematic woman judging contest, which was just a twerkathon, essentially. But they explicitly told the guy judges you cannot touch the women, which was different than the other contest.
Yes.
I wonder why that is.
Great rule, but the comedian was very cringy.
Problematic to say the least.
Real bad.
Very cringy. And that, I think I started drinking Double Crown and Coke, or just Double Crowns that night, but they were kind of like trying to ease people off the alcohol because
Because they were going to run out.
Yes.
And we were literally drinking the boat dry.
Yes.
Because it was a spring break cruise, and I think just drank and gambled that night. Queen V was there again, so I played craps and lost money to start. We went to the nightclub, came back. Oh, I lost money in blackjack, went to the nightclub, came back, and absolute heater in craps with Queen V there. She was just telling me what to bet, and she was throwing money out there for me, and I was just winning all this money. It was fantastic. And then followed her to a blackjack table where I won more money and got myself out of the hole for the cruise. So I ended the cruise exactly even.
We also watched a man take out like $600 on credit and try
my
and lose it
God.
in 2 hands.
Oh my
He was such a dickhead.
He was such an... That table was so fun, too. At least
Until
I
he
remember it
showed
being
up,
fun.
yeah.
Yes, until he showed up, he ruined it for everybody.
That guy, like, he walked up, handed the card, and wanted 200 credit, and was, like, complaining about not being able to play yet. Well, they're like, it takes a while to get credit on a fucking boat, dude. Like a cash advance, essentially, on your
Yeah.
credit card. And he gets it, and didn't he just put it all in one hand to start?
Yes.
He tried to. We had to talk him out of it. And then he bet half of it.
He bet half it lost.
And then the dealer called him stupid.
Oh, that's right. He was on the dealer was showing a 6, and he was on like a 14. And he went to hit, and all of us at the table were like, oh! And the dealer was like, no, you don't want it. And he was like, I want it hit. And hit busted him. And then the dealer ended up busting, so it was fine. But then the dealer said, this was Queen V. She was like, why would you do that? So stupid.
Yes.
And she was right. That guy got another 200, all on one hand, lost.
Third $200.
Got another 200, and then he bet 50 on a hand.
And then
he had like a 14 on a dealer 9, and he's like double. And everyone at the table was like, no.
Even I said no, and I had no idea what was going on.
Do not double. And he looked around, and he's like, all right. And he hit, and I think he pulled like a 7. He pulled a card that made him 21. And then he got mad at everybody for not letting him double. And we were like, all right, fuck you, man. And he proceeded to lose it all in the next 3 hands. And
exactly. Like, the number said not to double, and he was just like, nah, fuck that.
That's the best part about playing blackjack, because you can legitimately ask the dealer, and almost every dealer knows how to play at least near perfect blackjack, and they'll tell you. So it's like you don't even really need to. That's why you just need to be social at the table.
Yeah, I mean, I learned, and every single time I played, I was barely conscious.
Jordan and Jackson picked it up very well.
I had a great time.
Jordan's a gambling fiend now.
I'm more of a wine guy.
We got Jordan the gambling and wine on this cruise.
Yes. The wine, bigger fan. Gambling was fun, I have to say. I know I've been pretty vocal about not really being a gambler, but like, I have to say, when Kevin sat down at the table, it got a little more electric. Kevin helped me out, on the intricate stuff that I don't know shit about gambling.
Jordan was also sitting to my left, and I told a story an hour after that blackjack table about something, and I was like, yeah, and the guy to my left said this, and Jordan was like, that was me.
I was the guy.
I was there for an hour.
Yeah, it was insanity.
So yes, Jordan, wine guy and gambler now. Big fan.
Yes.
We're just going to Jordan to do all the expensive hobbies and have no money.
That's how they're going to beat me. Like, once I start making lawyer money, and then, like, I just drink Thomas Jefferson's wine or something and gamble all my money away, they won't be so jealous of me.
Did we miss anything?
I don't think
I'm sure we did.
On the last day, we got off that boat so fucking fast.
Oh my god.
We were off that boat at like 7:30 in the morning.
Wasn't fast enough?
Sure wasn't. We didn't have to... So, we were all, throughout this cruise, we were making jokes about being quarantined, like, a little bit.
Oh, I asked guest services the night before we left, like, are we going to get stuck on this boat? And she was like, no?
She did say no. Jackson was like, I don't believe her. But, so, we all were just like, all right, we're getting the fuck off this boat immediately. Because we didn't know if we were going to get quarantined or whatever. So, normally when you come back from a foreign country, you have to go through customs. They said, nah. Fuck that. Get off this boat. So they
didn't check shit.
Not a
took our picture
thing.
and said... Took our picture, slapped us on the ass, and said, good luck out there.
We walked this entire...
The world is burning.
We walked this entire maze to get out of that place, through where customs would be, and then the doors were just open.
Like, when we got the customs...
And then a lady said, have a good day.
When we got to customs,
right.
I was like, oh, this is going to be like a whole thing. Like, we're here first, so it's fine. Turns out they were just like, get the fuck off this boat.
They took
right
our temperature
now.
to get on the boat. They essentially just spit in our mouth when we got off of it.
We could have smuggled anything off that boat.
When
we
were
should have bought
leaving-
more Mexican Viagra.
Oh, yeah, we forgot that part. We bought Viagra in Mexico.
We did.
Is it Mexican Viagra or is it Viagra from Mexico?
It's generic Viagra
from
from Mexico.
That was funny, Patrick. That was really funny.
Oh my god.
I don't. I have no idea.
I think that brings
what
us to our cruise superlatives.
Yeah, sure.
Let's run through these really quick. I need to go eat food.
Most alcohol consumed. We said Jackson. I think that stayed true. Also Kevin.
Yeah, we said Jackson probably drank more
I had quantity.
like, by ounceage. But by alcohol by volume, I think I took the cake.
Fair.
Lots of Crown.
Most sunburnt. Brandon Goldman. That man fell asleep on the pool deck.
He sure
He fell
did.
asleep in the sun for like 3 hours on the second floor where no one was. We got that one right.
Right.
Yes.
Most likely to be quarantined. You guys
Turns
said
out it was
Pat.
all of us.
Yeah, it was all of us.
None of us did get quarantined, and so far none of us have.
Most likely to lose all their money in craps. We said Jackson. I'm pretty sure that's true.
Yeah, that was actually
It was true on a technicality.
No, it was just actually true.
Oh, we said Jackson on a technicality, and it rang true.
Yeah.
Did anybody else lose at craps? I feel like a lot
Mike
of us were
did.
playing.
Mike lost a lot of money. Craps.
Last time Pat and I played craps with Mike, everybody lost their money. Mike somehow won $50.
He was up like 80.
Mike literally cost the table like $1,000.
He kept rolling sevens, man.
Jeez.
Anyway, most likely to use the gym. We said Kevin/Daniel. We think Brandon B1. We think he went once.
He at least said he was going to go one time. That's the best we got.
Than the rest of us can say.
The closest anyone else got was me at 7:30 in the morning after a night of heavy drinking, saying, "Who's going to the gym with me?" on the radio, and then going back to bed. Daniel was like, "Fuck no." And that's the last we heard from him.
I hit the gym being the basketball court early in the morning.
Yeah, we played a lot of basketball one day, and that was the same day you were at like the seminar at 7:30 in the morning, right?
Yeah.
I went to a seminar at like 9:30 in the morning.
I went to a Q&A.
We went to a Q&A.
On purpose.
And we were roasting him.
I learned a lot about the boat, though.
No.
I'm sure you did. A boat you never want to get on again.
Most likely he missed dinner. We said Jordan/Jackson/Daniel. Everybody's wrong. Brandon G actually missed dinner.
Yeah, after
he missed the hibachi.
After
dinner.
Mr. Sanchez, he was done.
He had like 12
the
beers
asphyxiation.
before we moved from the fucking pool.
I didn't even know he missed dinner.
Oh yeah, he was not there.
Most likely to go to bed earliest. We said Jordan. It was Pat.
It was me.
Yes.
Pat went to bed early one day, right?
Yes.
I went to bed early the second day, and the last day I went to bed first.
I didn't go to bed early a single day.
You shouldn't have.
And I had not a single hangover.
I didn't have any.
Can't relate.
Either.
I was a superhuman on that cruise.
Jackson had a hangover where he had one sip of Corona and then just was like, I'm going back to the room to vomit.
I was
felt
chugging
better
those
after.
electrolyte packets.
The only day I didn't have a hangover, I chugged 2 of those before going to bed. That's the only thing that saved me.
Yeah, I was crushing the electrolyte packets, and that really helped. What's next? Most likely to go to bed latest. We said Travis. I think it was me. Travis was definitely a contender for it. But Travis had the one night that he just...
Meanwhile,
Didn't
you went
know
to
where
bed
he
at
was.
3 a.m. every single night.
Every night. Fastest to lose their walkie-talkie. We said Poppy. Was it both of us? Neither of us ever had our walkie-talkie.
I don't know if Poppy ever looked at that walkie-talkie twice.
I gave up on it after like 15 minutes.
They worked better than I thought they would.
They worked. I couldn't understand a single goddamn thing anyone said.
I couldn't hear shit from my room.
Not a fucking thing.
Meh.
We could have just
we
bought the
found
texting package.
We find out right for the
price.
cruise, you can buy a texting package through Norwegian, so you can message on their app for like $10 a person. And Pat was like, "We can't tell anybody that."
I thought you guys knew
walkie-talkie.
that. I thought you knew that existed and just said, "No, we're going to do the walkie-talkies instead."
I didn't know until about 2 weeks before the cruise.
Every cruise has this.
Whatever.
Turn it on.
Turn it off.
Most likely to be found face down in the pool. We said Jackson.
It was at a.
No one
It was the second day.
really did.
That little black kid. Did anyone watch him?
Yeah.
No, what happened?
When we were all in the pool, like, there was this one lone child in
Oh,
the
he was
pool.
trying to have a good time. I kept running into him in the pool.
He kept running into everyone in the pool. He was like, "Oh, sorry."
I think Daniel asked him to get him a drink.
God damn it.
I
think that
that's
happened.
honestly hilarious.
It is
Very
funny, but
problematic.
it shouldn't happen.
So most likely to be found face down in the pool. We said Jack. We didn't really have a winner.
No.
Brandon did pass out in the sun on the second deck. So on a technicality, it could be him.
I'll give it to him.
Congrats, Brandon. Best blackout dancer. We said Mike, and had to be me. The
Yes.
silent DJ act. Or yeah, just
I mean, I
He
gave
kept
a,
it
couldn't be
going
beat.
through the whole cruise.
I gave a solid set in the chapel, right, Kevin?
Stop it.
yes, you did. It was a solid set.
And that's
Boy,
all
we
that
left the
happened. Then we
JC.
left.
Best karaoke.
Our Father.
Who
Stop.
did Dan and Mike do a song?
Yeah, they did the Fall Out Boy song.
Mike did not know a single word of that song.
Nope, but it was
I did that song with Daniel.
Oh, did he do the?
Because Mike didn't know a single word, so I did both with Daniel. Because Mike didn't know a single word to the song.
He turned to me, he's like, to be honest, I couldn't read a single thing. I did not.
His vision was so blurry. Mike was. Oh, we got dangerously close to Dumpster Mike.
We saw Dumpster Mike.
Yes. Oh my God, that was fantastic. Mike got so drunk that night.
Which leads us to most problematic, which is not me.
Yep.
And
Strangely enough.
And it was my brother.
Oh my God.
This was at the chicken tender table, right?
No, this is at the whiskey bar or whatever, the piano bar.
Yeah, where Mike was just like, yeah.
Oh.
Go figure it out and let us know.
Yeah, they were sitting. So there was a controversy where there were these girls.
Not really a controversy. We all knew he was fucking wrong.
No, but what happened when they first got there?
So we were like trying to get chairs for all of us to sit because we were waiting for this before karaoke or something. And there were these girls, and they were like, "Oh, we need this chair, and this chair." And he was like, "Nah, fuck that. We want these chairs here, just to be, problematic." And so she was like, "Oh, there's gonna be karaoke, or not karaoke, trivia in a couple minutes." And Mike was like, "What's the trivia on?" She's like, "I don't know." And then Mike was like, "Why don't you go figure it out and let us know?"
Shoot her away.
Like, you shouldn't speak to one people, but definitely not women this way.
Every time I tried to tell that story, I made Mike sound so much nicer than he actually was because I can't imagine being that mean.
So I got there, and this had already happened. The girls had moved to a different area and were just fuming at their table. And I was trying to figure out what happened, and they were kind of telling me. And then we were all just getting drunker, and Mike is I'm egging Mike on. Mike is so, I was having the time of my life, because I feel like this is what people usually do to me, where you just toss little tidbits when they're really drunk and just keep them going. And then Daniel was talking about it, and I was like, "Oh, Daniel," we tried to get Mike to go sit down at their table, and one of the girls was gone, and he almost did it. And Patrick was going to leave. He was going to jump off the ship and swim home if his brother went and sat at that table. Mike didn't do it at the end, and then I tried to get Daniel to do it. He wouldn't. But then he was like, "I'll do something else." When we left, they were all sitting there, and as we were about to walk out, Daniel goes, "Thanks for the seats, ladies," and walked out of the bar.
The most problem.
One of the girls said, "You're about to get my Puerto Rican out." It's going to stab you.
Wait, what?
Yeah, she did say that.
Yeah, she said, "You're about to see my Puerto Rican side."
Yeah.
All right. Is that the last?
Last to D board.
Last to D board was Brandon and Lucas. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because everyone was off pretty quick. Even they were off pretty quick, weren't they?
Well, I don't know.
I never saw Brandon.
Me and Travis were off first.
I thought Jordan and Jackson were off first.
We're off second.
We were off second.
Oh. And then I was off 5-10 minutes after you guys?
Yeah.
Not even.
Because we had to wait for John and Daniel, because John was taking a shower, so we had to wait for
Oh, yeah, Brandon had Daniel's passport for some reason. He called Daniel, he was like, "Can you come get your passport?" He's like, "No, I'm about to take a shower."
That's
What the
right.
fuck?
That's why we had to wait.
Yeah, we were like, what? We
Well,
don't...
I was also riding with Brandon and Daniel.
Taking a shower at the port you arrived in is wild.
It's insanity.
Everybody collectively gets to their car in their filth. They go home.
And then
Take
they
a shower at
shower.
your house.
that you'll be at shortly.
I might have ruined Poppy's Audi with grease.
Recent farts.
Also, they were leaving, and I rode with Daniel and Brandon back to Jacksonville, and Poppy took Jackson and Jordan. And they drove by us, and I called my dad. I was like, "Is your trunk supposed to be halfway open?" And there's just luggage almost hanging out of the car.
Oh, yeah, it was...
Yeah,
He was like, "Oh, it's open."
We were wondering why it was beeping at us so much.
Jackson was like, "It's still beeping," and we were just like, "Ah."
No,
it doesn't
you were
fucking
still.
matter.
You said that.
Oh, was I?
Yeah, I
was
was trying not to throw up in the backseat.
At least he's honest.
Everyone wanted to get home so goddamn bad. And then I went to Chick-fil-A with Brandon and Daniel. I know. Shame on me.
No, they stopped hating.
Oh, that's true. We're back. We're back, baby. At that Chick-fil-A, at least 16 people from that cruise, most of them NC State college students driving back to school, stopped at that Chick-fil-A.
They
It's
had
the
a
first
long
Chick-fil-A
fucking day.
north after the port. But these people were driving 13 hours.
Yeah.
And they were all just as hungover as everyone.
No. Not a chance.
Yeah.
No.
I live in Cape
Insanity.
Canaveral now.
I met people that drove from Ohio.
Yeah, we did meet the people from Dayton, and they're like, yeah, we got to drive back tomorrow. Bro, what?
I'd rather die.
To Dayton, Ohio?
In a plague?
Yes, in an actual plague? Yeah, no.
We put 8 dudes in a hot tub at one point.
Yeah, don't tell people that. That's not our
I
finest
think
moment.
that's the way to end it.
No, we did it.
Turn it off.
Turn it
The
off.
way to actually end it is, so we got off the boat very expeditiously, incredibly quickly. So they turn over cruise ships pretty quickly. So there were people supposed to leave on our
One second.
boat.
Before this all happened, Kara got bounced from the port.
Oh yeah.
Oh, she did get bounced from the port.
No comment.
Pat, you could just ran over, got in the car. They could have done nothing.
Yeah, I know.
You just watched her turn around.
I just watched and waved.
Pat literally sat and watched as Kara's arguing with the guy and then has to turn around and drive away. Pat's at the curb,
Just like, damn, you hate to see it.
just waving at her.
Anyway, so people were supposed to get on the boat and leave to go wherever later that day. So as they were boarding, those people, like, some people were on, some people weren't. They got everybody off the ship and said, sucks to suck, we're not taking off. So the group chat then started to explode and started making fun of me because, like, had I flown, drove, and everything to get on that boat with everybody, and then they would have been like, nah, you can't get on, like, they would have had to shoot me because there would have been no restraining me at that point. I would have acted a whole ass.
Imagine paying port tax on that
For
one
that
drink.
one drink?
Yeah.
Those
That's 69
92
cents.
Jordan would have gotten
I would
arrested.
have canceled my
I
credit
would have been
card.
shot. They would have shot me.
There were literally people that flew in for that cruise, that drove 13 hours for those cruises.
I flew
Absolute
in.
Jordan did fly in.
I flew and I
that.
drove.
And got driven further.
Yes, twice. There was so much travel involved. I traveled up maybe like 18 hours total for that cruise.
Jordan might have gotten the Roni from a TSA worker in Orlando.
Jackson's the only one with a cough, so I don't.
I'm very sick.
Patrick has a cough, doesn't he?
Not anymore.
Kara has a cough. I thought,
Kara doesn't have a cough.
oh no.
If Jackson has the Roni, technically we all have the Roni.
If any of us have the Roni, we all have the Roni.
Yes.
If we
we
die,
die
we
together.
die.
Who would have guessed this is how we go?
That,
All of
We
us.
could have guessed
on
that.
that,
All of us.
on that boat.
it's quite predictable.
Fade out to mad.
All right.
All right, turn it off.
Listen Monday.
Turn
Love
it
you guys.
off.
Peace.